Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome in to your NFL pregame show. He is Sterls for the girls. I'm Rob Trujillo. David for the dudes. Not here today.
Why you gotta do him like that, man? That's just dirty.
I don't know if it's dirty.
That's
it was
dirty.
just, you're Sterls for the girls. I don't think he minds if dudes are attracted to him. He may not reciprocate, but
right?
Dave's secure enough. See, he's here anyway. David's secure enough that I don't think he minds at all if no Diddy. David's secure enough that I don't think he minds at all if he's here for the dudes. You know what I mean?
You get it how you live, man.
Ooh.
Hey,
that voice, dog. We got to talk about that voice. What's going on?
Dude. I'm just a little under the weather.
Oof.
Yeah,
it
sounds
gravelly
terrible.
there. You should record some Barry White tapes here,
dude,
for the next little bit.
Make all the panties drop. Most people probably don't know who Barry White is. The new age folk don't know who Barry White is.
Well, listen, dog. I'm glad that you are at least here. We have gone what is this, week 5? And we have all only been on the show one time.
Hey, that's why there's 3 of us,
So I'm thrilled you could be here. Talk a little ball with me. David here in spirit, as he says in the comment section, but also sent us his picks. So we'll just get to tell you what he bet on, as well as run down the games and talk about what we're going to bet on. Well, what I'm going to bet on, because we all know Sterls doesn't actually bet.
That's a lie. But you know what, though? I'm feeling lucky today.
Oh?
I'm feeling lucky today.
Why is that?
It just, you ever heard when Baker Mayfield said, I just woke up feeling dangerous? I woke up feeling dangerous. Sick, but dangerous.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to have a hot hand when it comes to the betting today. I'm just saying.
Okay. What's your record on the season?
It don't matter.
It kind of does.
I said today I feel dangerous and lucky. Okay.
I know past performance doesn't necessarily indicate.
It doesn't. Today's a new day.
But I feel like it matters just a little bit. Well, what have you been sick with, by the way?
It's just a cold or something.
Nothing fun to tell us about it?
Nothing noteworthy. Tell you that. It's not a rash.
Okay. Well, so one game started early, and of course my TV crapping out on me now, as you can see me trying to do stuff to it. So I guess
I got you. You want to know the score?
Yeah. So let's start real quick with the fact that Sam Darnold is out of the game. Oh no, a team goes over to London and loses a key player? No way.
Never heard that before.
So Sam Darnold took a shot to the ribs. Is he back in yet?
I don't know, because Andrew Van Ginkel just picked 6th Aaron Rodgers. So that's how they have him. So woof. That's right.
Yeah. Well, I had I took the Jets in the 2.5, thinking to myself, I'm definitely going to middle this. And it looks like I'm not going to be able to middle it. So that stinks.
Didn't you learn last week? Well, you know what? Hey, it makes sense.
You want to chill out, because last night somebody got a whole bunch of money betting on the Miami Hurricanes. You know what I mean? So
you did?
Oh, you want to take it easy on your boy?
What tell me about it.
Listen, here's what you need to know. Through 5 weeks of the NFL season, my bankroll is up 50%, essentially. My worst week was last week, and I went 7-6-1. And last night, when Cam Ward threw the ugliest pick 6 I've seen since Shador threw a pick 6 in Nebraska, I went ahead and bet on those Miami Hurricanes plus 7.5 and money line, and won both of those by the end of the night if you didn't stay up for it.
So tell the listeners real quick your strategy in terms of like you don't do parlays, you do straight bets.
It's not my strategy. I want to be clear.
Well, it's
'Cause
a strategy that you use
it is,
that's
yeah.
effective for you.
But so part of the reason that I picked it up, so what I'm best at is betting spreads. Like I've done it since I was a kid, not actually bet them. I didn't even realize that I was being uh raised to be a gambler. But my family had a pick'em league, and
Okay.
everybody would submit their picks for all the games every week, and it was against the spread. And I didn't realize that that was like for gambling purposes, but I would pick games against the spread every week from when I was like 4 years old.
1 second. Aaron Rodgers just threw another interception. Continue.
Well, that's good because, but you know, um, yeah, Hurricanes in says that.
Okay,
Let's
so
go
hold
Canes.
on, let me tell you who that is. That's one of my dogs. I'm a close friend there. Hurricane. He lives in Miami. Big time Hurricane fan. Dude, he is like a college football historian.
Really?
Yeah, dude, yeah. He knows his college football, man. So he's a big Canes fan. So I told him, Michigan ain't shit. I need the Canes to go on and to win the title, man.
Dog, I love Cam Ward. I mean, I loved watching him. So like I get
And
an
it's his
affinity
Hey,
for
it's
the
his birthday today too. Happy
oh,
birthday,
happy
dog.
birthday, brother. I get an affinity for those West Coast teams because I'm always I'm more awake watching the 7:30 the 8:30 start that we have here in the Mountain Time Zone, which is Wazoo or Arizona or whatever, than I am for the big noon kickoff, which starts at 10 o'clock. Like, fuck that game. I hate it. It's why I don't like Big Ten teams. I do not need to wake up at 10 o'clock and watch the game of the day. Fuck off.
I hear
So
that.
it's it's interesting because I grow an affinity for those West Coast teams. So I got to really liking Cam Ward, and then, you know, last night, man, they were on the ropes. That was one of the ugliest pick sixes. I can't even tell you. Sanford said, the guy I work with, the coach, former college coach that I work with, was like, that is the ugliest pick of the year.
Oh man.
So yeah, I
Dog.
made a little bit of money on that, and
Okay.
and so then like I said, I've been picking against spreads for a long time.
All right.
Good.
So
Okay,
you
so I was groomed for it.
okay, so so when you look at a NFL slate for the day, like and this may sound, maybe this is for me too, because I'm a sucker better. Like I do parlays because I'm trying to hit it big,
Oh, yeah, we never really finished. Well, so like any real better, like Vegas better, big money better, will tell you parlays are for suckers. They're for suckers. It's a way for Vegas to drive your odds down of actually winning it and make it look like, oh, but if you get it, you win all this money, when you'd be much better off taking that money and putting it on straight lines all the way down, individually.
Okay.
So I know you love it. Everybody that I bet with loves betting parlays. So I do them from time to time. I don't mind them, but I kind of resign myself to, I'm throwing away X amount of dollars when I make a parlay, because the chances are just crazy, dog.
Well, today I'm gonna do straight bets. That's why I'm feeling lucky today. Because like I
Because you're
usually
sick.
do no, I
The
used to do
visual.
like if I looked at a NFL slate of games, I do pretty well. And like I could tell you most of the time who's gonna win, right? My problem is it's betting the spreads that get me all the time, because it's the NFL is a business where the margin is small, the margin for error is small. So these teams are really, really good.
Yeah.
Even though the bad teams can be any team on any given day. And so, I mean, my personality. Like if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it big. So today I'm gonna do straight bets. So I'm gonna do $5 per game,
which is what I do every week. But go ahead.
I'm doing $5 per game, and we'll see how it goes.
All right. Did you put a bet in on this Jets Vikings game?
No, I haven't placed any bets yet.
So Jets Vikings started Minnesota -2.5. I took the 2.5 points in the Jets, thinking that I was going to be on this show with you and that I could watch it in middle of the game, and bet Minnesota at some point. And Minnesota has jumped out to a 10-0 lead, and the spread's up to 12.5. So I think I'm going to be begging for the Jets to get back into this for anything, if anything happens. But I'm also okay. Hey, listen, one of my friends is a Packers fan, and he's like, Minnesota looks for real. And I'm like, wait till they go to London and then come back, because that can ruin a team season. So I'm totally fine with the Jets being ruined over in London. Don't have a problem with that. Well, so you're going to put in a live bet on that game, Sterls?
I'm going to do it. I'm doing it right now as we speak. So if you see me looking down to the right, I am actually putting in these.
You know what's kind of messed up is that I now know where stuff is in your house.
I know,
based on where you're looking from the podcast.
Yeah.
Yes, I know your phone is down and to the right for you. Yeah. Screen left.
Yeah.
Your second computer screen is down and to the left for you. Screen right.
Yeah.
I know your TV is far right. So if you see him turn all the way, if the shoulders turn, that means that
that's
he's
exactly what's happening.
Far right on the screen, far left for you. So if you see him turn his body, and that's him watching the TV. Yeah,
man.
I know where things are now.
Yeah, you know what's up.
All right, so what'd you bet?
So I took the Vikings -12.
You took the Vikings -12?
Yeah, I think I listen. They're about to put these boys to sleep. You know how Curry does the. That's what's about to happen.
It just dropped to 10.5.
Well, when I did it, it was 12.
That's so. One of the things about live betting is knowing when to put in the bet.
He just got sacked. Third down. All right. Well,
I'm coming back from commercial because I'm watching.
Sam Darnold is in the game though. Sam Darnold.
Okay. He looked pretty bad. It looked like a good shot to the ribs there. So, all right, let's get into. Oh, I love trying to watch a game and getting ads for porn. All right.
Hey.
Illegal streaming services. Am I right? Yeah. And David came in. He bet pregame. He bet Minnesota -2.5, and he just dropped the comment here. I might middle this one. I would absolutely if I was you, especially if you can still get 12.5. That builds a nice 14-point middle there that you can sit in and try to win. I'd probably wait if I was trying to middle this game and I had the Vikings -2.5. I'd probably wait till the end of this drive.
Well,
but Sterls is ahead of me, so
see, here's the deal.
He might know it's already over.
Sauce Gardner was just holding Justin Jefferson. Who'd have thought that?
Oh, there you go.
Sauce be holding, dog.
All right, well, let's start flying through these, big dog.
Let's do it.
Panthers at Bears. The battle of last year's first overall pick. Bears with Caleb Williams. They selected that. If you don't know, they selected that player with the Carolina Panthers pick. The Panthers traded to get Bryce Young the year before. He's not even going to play today.
Yikes.
Isn't it like a little bit of an extra kick in the nads that it was the year after? So you're only a year plus into the Bryce Young experiment and you've already sat him down, and you could be 4 games into a Caleb Williams experiment.
Yeah, I mean, it's you feel bad for the Panthers, man. Like, you don't want to kick a guy when he's down.
I don't feel bad for the Panthers. I feel bad for the Panthers fans. But
yeah, there you go. Because I don't like their owner. I don't like Dave Tepper.
I don't like Dave Tepper either.
But their fans deserve better. They deserve better. Yeah, and they lost Shaq Thompson this week to IR. Even though he's not a phenomenal player, he's still good. I mean, they need all the help they can get. Dane Jackson should be coming back soon. not that he's going to help any. Robert Hunt is questionable today. So, yeah, man, it's like these guys can't catch a break at all.
Well, what they are catching is 4 points headed into Chicago with the red rifle. So who you got?
You had to call him that, didn't you?
I mean, that's what he is.
So let me ask you a question before I give you any analysis or opinion here.
Why do you hate the red rifle?
Well, I don't hate him because I love gingers. Okay. We got one of our own, Dave. Here's the deal though. Doesn't this game feel like it's a sucker? Like the Panthers are gonna put up a fight if you bet the spread. You know?
I mean, I think 4 points is plenty to get me to try to bet the Panthers. I think Andy Dalton ran that offense really efficiently. I think the Bears offense has been sputtering at best. I think the Bears have a much better defense than the Panthers do. So if you're giving me a field goal on the Panthers, I feel like that's right where it should be.
Okay, so Andy Dalton on the season, he's 51 to 78, 539 yards, 5 touchdowns and 1 interception. So, I mean, the small sample size that he has, he's produced. Does that pique your interest a little bit?
No. No. Andy Dalton, I mean, in my opinion, I think everybody has fallen into the Joe Flacco trap where he did not slow down last year. And I think we were even on the show saying, like, at some point, it's going to turn into a pumpkin, right? Like it's Joe Flacco. I don't think Andy Dalton is as high of a processor as Joe Flacco, and I don't think he's got as big of an arm as Joe Flacco. And so Joe Flacco has aged into a spot where now he's seen every defense in the NFL, and that's his advantage, right? And he's still got plenty of a big enough arm to fire it in there. Andy Dalton, I mean, couple weeks of tape on him with this offense, and I think you can shut down whatever it is that they want to do. So I don't have as much faith in him. I think over the next couple weeks he'll turn into a pumpkin too. I just don't know if the Bears are the team to do it to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. If yesterday is an indicator, football's gonna be crazy today, bro.
Oh, it's probably not an indicator because yesterday was wild.
Bananas. So something's in the water somewhere.
So who you betting? What you got?
I'm gonna go with the safe bet. I'm gonna go with the Bears -4 on this game because I just think they're the better football team for sure. Caleb Williams looked better last week. Maybe he can start throwing the ball to DJ Moore a lot more. No pun intended there, because there's some growing frustration with DJ Moore about not getting enough targets. DeAndre Swift looked good too. So maybe, if things can start to click, if you're going to beat someone, this is the week to do it. I mean, the Panthers are the Panthers. They're the worst football team in the league. So if they can capitalize on that, I expect them to get -4 on this one.
All right, and David taking the Bears as well, -4. I'm going to take the Panthers +4 for the simple fact that I don't think the Bears score enough for me to give up more than a field goal.
Okay,
like
that's fair.
If it was 2.5, I'd probably take the Bears. But the fact that it's 4 points and protects you from that touchdown field goal ugliness because you get the full 4 points, I'm gonna take the Panthers there. Just because I don't know if the Bears can score enough.
That's fair. That's fair.
Should be a big game, but only 3 wins between them. Ravens and Bengals, Baltimore headed to Cincinnati, minus 2.5-point favorites. So you get a 2.5-point home dog here. But the Bengals, I mean, man, the first couple weeks, Sterls, we made excuses for them. They get the win versus Carolina, but it just feels like it's fallen apart a little bit in Cincinnati. Ravens Bengals, where's your head at?
Man, I mean, it's hard to talk about the freaking Ravens right now just for what they did to Buffalo last week. But I do think they may have found something. We know that running game is really good. I am a little surprised though that Mark Andrews isn't a bigger part of that offense. Maybe it's still that injury that he was dealing with last season that took him out.
I think Isaiah Likely has supplanted him,
Right.
which is strange for as good of a tight end as he is. But it feels like they rely on Likely a whole lot more than they do on Andrews.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me find some. Right now, Isaiah Likely is the leading receiver for the Ravens with only 167 yards. And he got all that against the freaking Chiefs week 1.
He did.
So that passing offense is not Zay Flowers, second-year player, hasn't really popped off yet. So maybe, this
But I
divisional
believe in him.
game.
Are you questioning him now?
Not
Because I still believe
questioning.
in him.
Yeah, no, not quite. I think it's more of a product of maybe the offense and who's the signal caller. And nothing against Lamar Jackson, he's great, but they have a emphasis on running the football. But you're gonna have to get your guys going, and he's a big part of that offense. So I think as time goes on, I think they'll get a little bit more comfortable, and he'll be fine.
So where's your head at?
I'm gonna go with the Ravens here. And according to DraftKings, the Ravens are 2.5, minus 2.5. So they getting my money today, baby.
Ravens get your money, and I mean, the Bengals have to have it, don't they? Let's be real about it. And like we kind of talked about this last week with the Ravens playing the Bills.
Right.
I feel like you're going to get a little bit of desperation from the Ravens because they've got to have it. They can't drop to 1-3 and then go play the Bengals, right? And I kind of feel the same way about the Bengals here. You are 1-3. You cannot drop to 1-4 and feel like you're going to have a season. So I feel like it's really hanging in the balance for the Bengals here, and I think they're going to play like it. They have put together, I want to say, 2 good games on the season because I think they played well during that Chiefs game, despite the fact that they didn't win it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that they're going to bring it today. Aerial assault. Joe Burrow is going to look right. And I want to be clear that I don't think that that's going to be an indication of the year because I do think that they are going to struggle long term. But I think they're going to get everybody back on board, maybe believing in them a little bit here. So I'll take the home dog. I'll take Bengals plus 2.5. Let's see. On that one, David is on Baltimore. He's with you. So you two both on the Ravens and both on the Bears. So not looking good for me right now. Really
so, I mean, the Bengals, they as of right now, they're 9th in passing yards, 7 touchdowns to 1 interception. So Burrow is 70%, 70.9% completion percentage so far this year, which is pretty good. So
yeah, I was gonna say, like I said, I don't think it's been like weird stuff that's happened to have them lose games, it feels like. But
it's the defense. The defense isn't playing well this year. They're just
much like the Bills defense not being designed to stop this Ravens run game, stopping the Ravens is not like stopping any other team. You know what I mean? And so
right.
the Bengals defense has struggled so far this year, but not against an offense like this. You know what I mean?
Right.
So maybe they'll have more success against the Ravens offense, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I mean, Jamar Chase has been having a hell of a season offensively, right? So, I mean, you can have a so-so defense if you're able to make explosive plays and put points on the board, right? So that's gonna help them. The only problem with this game is that Baltimore has big physical corners, and they got a unicorn in Hamilton, right? That could cause problems and the familiarities, and that's pretty much why I chose the Ravens to win this game, just because the running game works. Like when all else fails, run the football. They have that in their back pocket, so they don't have to be a prolific passing offense right now, right? If you have something as solid as that run game and Derrick Henry running over people, and you look at the weakness of the Bengals defense, and it's right up the middle. Right, their front four. I mean, outside of their defensive end, they really don't have much on that defensive line right now. So if they can control the line of scrimmage by running the football, I think this game will get out of hand.
Well, and I feel like the familiarity, though, I mean, in the NFC North, more than anything, you know what it's kind of like? It's kind of like playing Big Ten football, right? Like either you're used to it or you're not. And so I don't know. I guess I'm giving the Bengals a little bit of, they know what's coming. You know what I mean? Yes, the familiarity makes it maybe easier for the Ravens too, but they know the slobber knocker that's coming. Like they're expecting it, and the Bills, I don't think were quite ready for that last week. You know,
No, and the Bengals are 23rd, 24th in right now in stopping the run. So they're at
again,
4.4 yards per carry.
but again, against regular NFL offenses, right? Like
Right.
most of the time, you're okay giving up the run if Patrick Mahomes isn't throwing the ball on you. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
It's interesting.
Dolphins Patriots, a matchup of 1 and 3 teams in New England. Patriots getting 1.5 points. And I gotta be honest with you, I haven't even seen who's gonna start this game for the Dolphins. Is it still Huntley?
Still Huntley. Still
Huntley.
Yep.
Man, Patriots getting 1.5.
Did you hear about what's going on with the Patriots this week about a reporter podcaster saying that the locker room was in disarray?
No, I did not.
Yeah, and apparently, he came out and said, well, it's probably not fully the truth or whatever. However, when there's mist in the pulpit, there's fog in the pews. And so, I mean,
I'm sorry, what?
When there's mist in the pulpit, there's fog in the pews. You ever heard that? That's an old Southern euphemism right there. You don't know about that? But basically,
in the pulpit?
In the pulpit, like in church.
In the pulpit.
Yeah, in the pulpit. I'm Southern.
Yeah, why don't you say that word?
No. Hey,
changes that whole thing. When there's mist in the pulpit. Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. Then you're talking about the pews. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
See, when you say pulpit, I think of a pool.
Oh,
I'm wondering why there's pews.
Is that better for you? White guy pulpit.
Well, I mean, it's called enunciation. It's important.
And when you're from the South, sometimes it's hard, brother.
Hey, listen, you're the one that decided to get behind the microphone. I didn't make you.
Hey, man, I wanted to spend time with you today, man.
There was no force here.
No, never.
In your life,
never.
You decided to be a broadcaster, and now that you're a broadcaster, you have to enunciate.
You mean I can't chop and screw my words?
I mean, you can if you want, but I'm going to call you on it.
So my question is, do you think there's any merit to that? I mean, we're talking about a team with no Bill Belichick, and they haven't been good for the past few years, but there's still a high standard of excellence in that building. Now, they may not be able to get to that level, obviously, but it's still a good organization, right? That expects to win, and you're 1 and 3, and there's really, you drafted Drake May. there's really not any like momentum when you look at the Patriots. You got Christian Gonzalez, who's a good corner, but what else? What else is there? Not much.
So David is on New England with a point at home, though he says he hated picking this game. Here's what I'll say about it. I think you created unnecessary derision in that locker room by quarterback flip-flopping.
Okay.
Jacoby Brissett played fine as the starter. I think he gave you exactly what you thought you were going to get from him. And Drake May played pretty good in the preseason. And I think you should have picked one and stuck with it, because if you don't, you create a locker room where 20 guys like one guy and 32 like the other, and there's one undecided motherfucker who's sitting there being annoying. So it just immediately creates division in the locker room, whether you intended it to or not. You know, to me, it was kind of a silly way to handle it, if we're being completely honest.
I agree.
Now, if you are 1-8 and you go to Drake May, that's different, right? Season shot. We're going to put the rookie in, whatever. I don't think anybody fights you over that. But they beat the Bengals week 1, and we're in a couple of these other games that they've lost since then. And, you know, if you're 2-2, you're right there. You're right there.
Right. That's fair.
And so I think a lot of these guys are looking at it saying like, hey, man, we are not that far from being in this thing. So, yeah, I think it was a rookie head coach way to handle it, if I'm being completely honest.
Okay. So
and I don't have strong feelings on Gerard Mayo either way, but I just think that was a mistake.
I do too. I think if you draft a quarterback that high, I mean, if he's not ready, he's not ready. But don't toy with him. You know, just let him. I mean, look, if you have a commitment, you say, hey, we're gonna build around you. We may not be able to do it all this year, but our intention and purpose is to build around you. So this is we're just gonna figure it out. Let him go out there and just be a quarterback and figure it out. Now, I think there's a point in there where, you know, you kind of protect him. If it goes really, really bad, then you pull him. But if it's like bad but okay, you know, like there's learning moments each and every game, I think you let it ride out, you know. Let me tell you this. So the Patriots right now have the worst passing offense in the league. They're last in yards. They got 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. And guess what? They've given up the second most sacks in the league with 17 on the season. So not only is the quarterback play bad, but they have line protection issues as well. And they're going to be without a guard today. So not good.
But it was something that was a known issue going into the season.
Right.
You know what I mean? We all talked about their offensive line not being great. So either you're going to play the kid or you're not, you know. That's kind of where I'm at, and I don't know.
Wouldn't you feel better if it was Drake May with those numbers? Drake May was the guy versus a veteran quarterback that you thought could right the ship, get you at least to 500.
It's hard to say because what he has shown in practice does matter. Now I've only seen preseason games, you know what I mean? So
right.
How can I really know? But it seemed to me like you might as well go with Drake May. He's playing as well as Jacoby Brissett, and the offensive line is going to be an issue, period. I'm going to go Dolphins here. Because I feel like there's still a lot of talent on that team.
Okay.
And even without their quarterback, I feel like they far out talent New England, and matchup wise, neither team has a quarterback. So it doesn't matter that it's Tyler Huntley for the Dolphins for me. And then everywhere else across the board, I feel like Miami has more talent.
Right. So
Um,
I'm going with the Dolphins here -2 as well. Even in Tyler Huntley's first start, I mean, it wasn't all bad. I mean, he had some. I mean, you can't like fault him. He just got there. So maybe we'll see a little bit more improvement this week. They are getting Odell Beckham Jr. back. If that matters or means anything, probably not. But it's at least another person on the offense that you got to pay attention to. Jalen Phillips for the Dolphins out for the season. It's unfortunate, which I felt like for someone coming back from an Achilles, it sure seems like you fucking rushed him too quick to come back.
I feel for the kid. He
Yeah.
is when you play him, you feel him.
Yep.
Like you notice him in the game. And that's not even true of all the high paid pass rushers. Like there are some guys who get their numbers and it doesn't feel like they affect the game all that much. And I feel like he could be so good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm a Bills fan, so I'm fine with him not
Right.
being good. but you
Vikings
just
just
from a
scored, by the
personal
way.
standpoint, the kid could be so good, and you just second year now with a major injury in a row. And then I think he had one more before that in college, right?
He
Didn't he have
did.
one
Mhm.
down in Miami?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So college Miami. He
The
was a hurricane.
Vikings just scored a touchdown. CJ Ham sandwich, fullback alert on a fullback dive for the touchdown. So
They want to make sure
17-0.
none of your fantasy. Ain't nobody getting fantasy points.
Hey dog, I know, right? That's an empty touchdown. And Robert Saleh he's doing the face palm right now. So this is why today is a good day. Robert Saleh face palm, Aaron Rodgers pretentious, just the looks that he gives, and the Jets losing. I mean, it's a damn good day already.
I mean, you know what's interesting? The entire AFC East is going to be done by 4:00 Eastern here.
Sheesh.
Didn't even think about that.
Nah.
Remember, this is your NFL pregame show. So if you've got fantasy questions, start them, sit them, survivor picks, betting questions, man, we're here to answer your questions. So if you got something that you want to pop in with, feel free to drop it in the chat and we will absolutely talk about it for you. For now, we're just running down the games. We're still on the 11 o'clocks. And we move to Cleveland and the surprise of the NFL, the Washington Commanders. Are they good now? Do we? Oh,
Man.
Do we have to talk about the Commanders as a good team?
Yeah, I mean, they
Yeah, see, it's hard. It's hard to do.
yeah, because they've been such a terrible team for so long.
My boy is a devout Commanders fan. I mean, crazy fan for his whole life. And I sent him a text like, "Are you guys good now?" And he's like, "I don't know." Like I'm asking people the same question because I don't know what to do with my hands right now. The
That's a
Commanders
great
fans are beside
observation.
themselves. But like, if we're being real honest about it, they got a shot to win that division.
Absolutely.
The Eagles are a mess. The Cowboys are inconsistent at best. They're beat up. They're going to play today without Dexter Lawrence and Micah Parsons. I feel like the Cowboys are a better version of the Raiders, where they have really great blue chip prospects, but the rest of the roster is not the best. And so here you are looking at the Commanders, just a real solid team. Dan Quinn putting together good game plans, and Jaden Daniels cannot throw an incomplete pass.
Yeah. Yeah, it's looking pretty good, man. Deshaun Watson has more touchdown passes than Jaden Daniels so far in the season. Like if you, blindly, I would have said no, Jaden Daniels would be winning, but it's 4-3 on that. Their team. I mean, listen, Cleveland is just Deshaun Watson's a terrible quarterback. Enough said. But on the other side, Jaden Daniels is doing everything right. I mean, let's be real. What he did against the Bengals in prime time as a rookie on the road, that is impressive, man. Like you got and it wasn't like The team carried him to victory. He put the team on his back and carried them to a victory. That is big time shit right there. So I like everything that I'm seeing from Jaden Daniels. And then you look in the backfield, you got Brian Robinson, who's having a really good season so far. 307 yards, 3 touchdowns. So they somehow they figured out a way to get Terry McLaurin involved in the offense past few weeks. So that's a real nice addition there. So yeah, I expect Washington to win this game. I'm going to take -3.5 on this one, is what it says in my sports book here. And because Cleveland can't score.
Your book's jobbing you, dog. It's like the third time they've been an extra half point on you here.
Yeah, and it's always that way.
It's -3 on my sports book. David has Washington -3. You have Washington -3.5.
It could change. I mean, but yeah, that's right.
Tell me not to do it. Tell me not to do it.
Dude, don't do it. Don't. Hey, if you pick Cleveland,
I want to fade you two so bad right here.
Lose money.
Remember last week?
Lose money.
Oh, were you on last week? No, you weren't. Remember last week? If you watched, I sat here with David and I said that Steelers-Colts game. I feel like I should bet the Colts, but I'm going to bet the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be the game that I look back on. I'm like, oh, I should bet the freaking Colts. That was 100% true. This feels like that game to me.
Okay.
I feel like I should bet Cleveland. The defense is so good that it is the kind of defense that
keep it close.
Not only will keep it close, but will confuse a rookie quarterback.
Oh man,
I want it so bad, but I also don't want to bet the Cleveland Browns.
That's fair. They're just bad. They're a bad football team. Bad.
No, they have a bad quarterback. There's a difference.
The defense is good, but and you have some spots on the offensive line, but the quarterback is horrible.
I think Stefanski's a good coach.
I mean,
no,
it's okay. Ken Dorsey's offensive coordinator.
Yeah, but is he really the offensive coordinator?
I mean, hey.
All right, I'll go Commanders -3.
There you go. Attaboy.
I'm in with
in
with the boys right now.
Aaron Rodgers just got blown to smithereens. God damn.
I look forward to watching that.
And he's pissed. I told you today feels great.
Colts and Jaguars, another 11 o'clock start. Colts getting 3.5 points. And man, are the Jags reeling right now. 0-4, have to get off the mat. And if you lose this game to Indy, that's about it for the season. I mean, you're done. You might as well just forfeit the rest of them. I'm dead serious. Like, it's going to get ugly in Jacksonville if you lose this divisional game. You win it, you can at least have hope about crawling out of the cellar. They are absolutely up against it right now. I mean, Indianapolis getting 3 points, Jacksonville -3. Look at what Vegas is doing here.
So it's
up to 3.5 too.
Yeah, I have it at 3.5 as well right now.
Look what Vegas is telling you. I mean,
Vegas is telling you Jacksonville's going to win this game.
Yeah. I mean, 0-4 Jacksonville getting laying 3.5 points. Like, that's crazy. That is crazy.
All right. So let me put what I know about football to the side, and I'm going to glean on your expertise, because this is where I get fucked up. With that being said, what does that tell us about this game?
I think it tells you that, man, that's so interesting, because it is Flacco too today.
Right.
Richardson is out. And like I was going to say, I think it's maybe more of a commentary on Richardson than anything, but it's not. It's Flacco today. Yeah, I mean, that is a crazy line to me. Remember when I told you 2 weeks ago or last week That line with the Bills stunk. This one stinks. David's betting Indy here. He's taking the 3 points.
That's what I'm gonna do.
You're taking the 3 points as well?
Yeah, I think I'm doing it right now, and the bet is in. Done.
Yeah, I think I'm going to as well. I feel like they want you to take Indy in the 3 points, and Jacksonville's just going to come out and blast them. But
Well, I mean, Jacksonville hasn't won a game this season, and so I'd say, okay, they're not gonna go winless. No starting quarterback. Your starting quarterback's out for the Colts. Like, it makes sense why you go
Flacco
Jacksonville
has
here,
demonstrated over the
right?
year and a half that he can.
But how many casuals know that?
A lot. He went to the playoffs last year.
Right.
So a lot.
I don't know about a lot. I think, it's one of those where that's how Vegas gets you. Because you talk about these guys who, like you and me, we eat, sleep, and breathe this, but there's other people out there who are just very casual that just don't, Chad bros out there just yeah.
Yeah, I don't know this line, and I'm not sure exactly what to make of it, to be honest with you. So it stinks. See, the thing with the Bills line, I saw that line and I'm like, man, they think Baltimore's going to roll. I mean, they think Baltimore's absolutely going to crush, and they did. This line stinks, but I don't know what they're trying to tell you with it. Like they want you to take Indy plus the 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
I can't honestly believe that Vegas thinks Jacksonville is going to roll today. So it's, I don't know.
Indy hasn't beaten Jacksonville at home since 2014, bro.
I've seen that stat. That kind of stuff.
That's crazy.
I mean, it is crazy, but I don't know. I mean, it can get in your head a little bit.
Sure.
But
I mean, the players aren't thinking about that. I don't think.
Yeah, like I was like, even with the Dolphins, you know what I mean? Like Dolphins Bills we had talked about are the Bills in their head. I don't think the fact that they haven't won in so long is in their head. I think what's in their head is losing the division last year, right? You know what I mean? Because a lot of those players are back. And I think, the new guys try to change that mindset. Joe Flacco knows nothing about the fact that they haven't won in Jacksonville in 10 years. So yeah, I mean, this game smells to me, but
here's another one for you.
I'll take the Colts.
The Jaguars' last 5 games, last 4 games, sorry, they won 31-0 against the Falcons. But the last 4, they have not put up over 20 points a game. Not once.
Trevor Lawrence is better than that, right?
Right?
It's a serious question. Because I think the answer is yes.
Has to be. This is the thing with Jacksonville fans. Like, if I'm a fan of Jacksonville, you got this heralded quarterback, the golden child from the Clemson glory days. I mean, flawless prospect from a pre-draft analyst. Like, when I was evaluating him, I'm like, man, this guy, he can fucking do everything. Gets in the league, and he has some good moments, but then it's never like he never takes over a game ever.
I'm going to reference Sam Darnold here. Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield.
Reached their ceiling already?
No, I'm going to say I think Trevor Lawrence obviously was a better prospect than all of them, including Baker Mayfield. I think he went to a bad organization that had a bad head coach. And I think Doug Peterson did a little bit to rehabilitate that his first year, but I just don't think I think Doug Peterson's just an average coach. And I certainly think he's an average play caller.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. and it's interesting. This was on the show last week too. I asked David. I asked one of my Jaguars friends, "Would you trade Trevor Lawrence? Say somebody comes in with 2 2s and change,
But he's got that contract now.
which is why it would be 2 2s instead of
Yeah.
one. But 2 2s and change. Are you taking that? Especially if you're,
I am.
0-7 or something like that, and it looks like Shador or Carson Beck or Cam Ward or whoever might end up in your city.
Yeah, he's got to go.
You taking that?
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
and you're gonna roll your eyes at this, but if I'm the Vikings and I got Kevin O'Connell, or if I'm the Rams and I'm wondering how much longer Matt Stafford is gonna play, I might be putting in a phone call. And it, from my perspective personally, if you give me Trevor Lawrence and Sean McVay, feeling a whole lot better about Trevor Lawrence.
Right, right, right.
Right? If you give me Trevor Lawrence and Kevin O'Connell,
I'm
feeling a whole lot better
Yeah.
about Trevor Lawrence. You give me Kevin Stefanski and Trevor Lawrence, I'm feeling a whole lot better about Trevor Lawrence. I know you're not a big fan, but I'm just saying, like, give me one of those higher caliber offensive head coaches, and I feel a lot differently about Trevor Lawrence. So I think there's a second life to his career that might be coming. But I just feel like what we're seeing Sam Darnold now is, I think, his ceiling, right? I don't think he gets, I think like Kirk Cousins is his ceiling. I don't think he gets all the way to MVP, I'm amazing quarterback ever. I don't think he ever had it in him. Trevor Lawrence, I think, can get to that level. I think Trevor Lawrence can be so good that he is in the MVP discussion. So if he goes to a real solid organization with a real solid head coach, maybe, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I went off on a little tangent there. I just think it's interesting where the Jaguars are right now. They could be in a very, very
So
shifting situation.
So Dave asked a great question. He said, "How did all the scouts get Lawrence wrong?" And I'll tell you this. So I was in my time at the NFL Scouting Academy. It was on a Zoom with Louis Riddick, and he was talking about drafting and developing. And one, is a saying, and he's not the one that coined this term, but I give him the credit just because that's where I first heard it. But he said, it's rare that players fail organizations. Organizations fail players most of the time, 90% of the time. And it's because what my eyes saw in Trevor Lawrence, it's valid. It's still there. It's there right now. The mental might be shot now because of just what's been happening, but the kid can play. And the organization, I mean, the Jaguars are notorious for just being one of those inept franchises, starting with Shaq Khan and their personnel changes and bringing in Peterson, so forth. So, like what I'm saying is, it may be time for a change, but now you got that big contract on them, and you're kind of stuck.
I don't think so. I think that's the going rate for quarterbacks, and if the Jaguars are going to eat a portion of that, with essentially that's what you do.
How much dead cap are you going to want to eat?
You paid the bonus already, right? So they'll take the dead cap hit for the money that's already paid, and it makes it a lot more palatable for whatever team is receiving that contract because that bonus is already paid and the cap hit is done, right? Like you're just paying his yearly salary. So instead of it being a cap hit of whatever $50 million a year, it turns into a cap hit of 35, 30, something like that. You know what I mean? It makes it a lot more palatable. But I think you're dead on. It's interesting, and I like Zach Wilson's the next guy for this. You got him out of New York. You give him a rehab year in Denver, right? Does he maybe not next year, but maybe the year after go to some quarterback needy team and look like Sam Darnold, right? The Jets have been this team that constantly fails quarterbacks. And the Bills were that for a long time too. It's not that the tiger can't change its stripes, but when Josh Allen came in, and credit McDermott and Bean for this, they had a plan, and Dable too. They had a plan. They knew what they wanted to do. They, I think, botched having him sit for a little while. But there was an organizational mindset behind developing Josh Allen that I think the Bills executed pretty well. And when you have the Jaguars hire Urban Meyer and then fire him after the first season, you know what I mean? Like, that organization was a disaster for Trevor Lawrence. So I think it's a really interesting conversation. I think he's the next guy who ends up with Sean McVay, and we're like, how did you let Sean McVay get Trevor Lawrence? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's where we're headed here.
Jets just scored a touchdown. Alan Lazard.
You're like 2 plays ahead of me, and it's annoying.
Okay.
That's what I get for,
I told you how to fix that, but you don't want to do it, so whatever.
Okay, this line has flipped. It's our final 11 o'clock of the day, and then we will do a quick commercial with a commercial question. But our final 11 o'clock game of the day, Bills at Texans. The Stephon Diggs revenge game. Why it's a revenge game, I'll never fucking understand. You got to be kidding me. The dude forced his way out. Nico Collins coming out saying we got to win this one for Diggs.
Oh my God.
Get out. I almost said something real vile there, but but an interesting game nonetheless. Opened with the Bills as 1-point favorites, has flipped now in favor of the Texans. They are 1-point favorites now. You could say maybe that's the Khalil Shakir injury. Normally, lines don't move that much for non-quarterbacks. That's a 2-point swing. And if you're telling me Ed Oliver and Khalil Shakir are worth a 2-point swing, I would be shocked. Vegas never does that. Vegas does that for like Christian McCaffrey and quarterbacks, and that's it. So I'm wondering what Vegas is thinking. A bunch of money must have been coming in on Houston, but I don't know. So David's on Houston -1. We'll have a talk about that at the bar. David, Sturm, who do you got?
I got the Bills winning this game. It's what Josh Allen is 14-4 after losses. And I think we also need to know, or to get in our heads that, like, again, and I don't even want to talk about the game, but the Ravens just are a bad matchup for the Bills. And now, you got the Texans who are going to play into the Bills' strengths, which is pass defense. So Ed Oliver's nice, but you don't need him because look at who's running the ball for the Texans. Cam Akers, are you kidding me? So I'm not worried about that. Now, they do have weapons. I mean, Tank Dell is back. Nico Collins, probably the second best, third best receiver in the league. Stephon Diggs. But I think Josh Allen and the Bills win this game, man.
Here's what I am worried about. The Bills generating a pass rush. No Ed Oliver, no Von Miller.
We've been worried about that all season.
Well, so the advantage that they have is dropping 7. They need to get home with 4. Right? Like that is kind of the thing. So no Ed Oliver, no Von Miller. Yes, I worry about them generating a pass rush. But what you did get back is Terrell Bernard. And TB, I mean, when they brought him to bring pressure last year, it was
in a hurry.
I mean, it worked incredibly well. So they're going to have to get a little bit more creative today. I think they're still going to be dropping 7, but at most, even if you have 5, having TB rush to try to generate pressure when you need to generate pressure is a great way to do it. Christian Benford's been playing out of his mind. Need that to continue. Rasul Douglas been playing very well. Need that to continue. Cole Bishop, safety on the back end, starting for the Bills, second round pick. it's gonna be. I mean, it's to me. I think this is gonna be boom or bust.
Yeah.
I really do. I think he's either going to. When you have people like this who are such good playmakers, I think you either they either come in and start making plays and realize, hey, I can play at this level, or they come in and they get torched a couple times and they lose confidence and they're never that guy again. So it's going to be really interesting to see what Cole Bishop brings against this Houston Texans offense.
And I'm okay with Cole Bishop being the starting safety back there, at least because we can kind of start to unravel the story and see what he's gonna be or what he can be. I think he can be a decent to good. I don't know about great, but I think he could be a really good. I don't know. He could be good back there. So I'm trying to look and see if I can find anything the latest news on this game, injury report, who's
While you look,
inactive.
let me just say, I think it's interesting that Cole Bishop starts instead of Mike Edwards.
Dog. What the hell were they like? I'm so frustrated with that dude.
Yeah, me too.
What's the
Me
problem?
too. It was,
Like,
I mean, it was a waste of free agent dollars that you don't have a whole lot of. So that's interesting to me. Khalil Shakir out. I don't think that matters. I mean, I love Shakir and I think he's very good. I don't think that matters as much as long as Allen has capable wide receivers out there. I think that's really the important part. I also think you're going to want to run the ball against this defense.
exactly.
So, I mean, big James Cook day, get that O-line cranked up. You know what I mean? I feel like it's one of those type days. So we'll see.
I don't see anything on it yet.
All right, David's got Houston -1. Who you got, dog?
I'm taking the Bills +1.
Yeah, and I'll even forego the +1. Like I don't know. You know me, I tell myself not. I really actually want to bet this one. I normally say I don't bet the Bills because my rose-colored glasses, but I think I'm actually going to.
Yeah.
Bills money line.
Yeah. David brings up a good point. He said Javon Solomon and Dewan Smoot game. I love me some Javon Solomon.
Forget
So
Smoot. We don't
screw,
need it.
yeah, he's I mean, he's gonna be playing more D tackle than in today.
Yeah, forget Dwayne Smoot. But yes, you need the Bills have a couple of these guys and have for the past few years. The kid Love, Kingsley Jonathan, Javon Solomon. They've had these guys who preseason darlings. Can they generate a little bit of pressure? Blah blah blah. Yeah, you're gonna need something from Javon Solomon.
Oh yeah,
today.
And when you say, I mean, I feel like Javon Solomon in his short time to me has shown more than Kingsley Jonathan. The fact that we have to really think about it tells you that, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I think that tells you no.
No, it tells you everything you need to know. Kingsley Jonathan's been around for years now, and he really
I
has.
agree with that.
Yeah,
there's more. Javon Solomon has more of a runway, no doubt.
No sure.
Doubt. But I don't know that he's shown more. But here's your opportunity, kid. You know what I mean?
Right. Show us today.
Better show
us. I'm telling you. I mean, he shows. Again, I'm not trying to glaze and say this guy is the next thing because whatever. He's a 6th-round rookie, but what he has at his disposal tool wise is very impressive. Bend.
Okay, but
he's got counter moves. And people want to hang their hats on that. Yes, he's undersized, but you can be an undersized pass rusher and still win.
But so my point was going to be that I would feel a whole lot better about him in an odd front.
Sure.
Him playing linebacker.
Yeah.
So I don't think that this defense is built for him. I think that's tough to get him to put his hand in the ground and go one-on-one with a tackle.
But he's showing he can do it. And
I know.
He's
I know
not
he can,
bad against the run either.
Can do it. And like Von Miller's undersized too, right? Don't get me wrong. You know,
Elvis Dumerville undersized.
It's not like undersized guys can't pass rush from a even front and be effective. It's not what I'm saying. but it does make it harder on them.
for sure.
And so, if you're Javon Solomon, would you have rather ended up with a team that has an odd front? Yeah, I think so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, and I think this is where most of his snaps are going to be, he ain't going to be in on rundowns. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're going to see him on pass downs. He's going to have the Von Miller role this week. Is what he's going to have.
Yeah.
That's what he's going to have.
Yeah. You'll have Epinesa in there on rundowns, and so the question is, can I get maximum effort from you on those pass downs and get some pressures? All right, commercial question. We're rolling an ad here if you're on our Twitches. Otherwise, we will be back in just a couple minutes. And if you are not on our Twitches, you can hang and watch the commercial question. Now we got to pick up the pace a little bit here, big dog. Go through the afternoon games and the
Yeah, it's all good. We rolling.
I mean, clearly somebody's not coming up with them.
Your mic is wonky right now.
My mic is wonky.
There it is. Yeah, it was muffled for a little bit.
I don't know what wonky means. What's wonky about it? Does it need to be louder?
Not working. It's good now. Go ahead.
So my commercial question was going to be very simple. And I know it's different at different fast food restaurants, but if you're pulling up to a fast food restaurant, you get yourself some nuggets or something like that. What's your go-to condiment there?
Sweet and sour at McDonald's.
Sweet and sour?
Dog slaps. It slaps.
That might be the blackest thing you've ever said.
Dog, I'm telling you. Hey, I'm telling you, bro. Listen.
You gonna tell me you smoke menthols next? What's up?
Some Newports.
Sweet and sour, dog.
See, your plain ass. What you want? Ketchup? You want ketchup, don't you? You want some ranch?
Okay, first of all,
you want some mayonnaise
from Buffalo, so we hate ranch, and you
want some mayonnaise on them nuggets, huh?
Dog, I don't know why you're being a hater, because if any of us would pick mayonnaise, it's you Southern fools that would actually. You don't act like if they had mayonnaise as a little cup option for chicken nuggets that you down south wouldn't be dipping nuggets in mayonnaise.
Hell no.
Shut up.
First of all, let me tell you something. In the South, we use Miracle Whip.
Gross.
And it's delish.
Gross.
Not no mayonnaise, bruh.
Gross. Feel free to drop your answer in the comments here. What is your go-to condiment? Here's the thing about the sweet and sour. Not that it's a bad choice, but it's an odd choice. Because if I want sweet and sour, like I want to go to a Chinese restaurant and get sweet and sour chicken. Yeah. Look at his face. He knows how dumb it is. Mental health
guy says
finally somebody with a little bit of sense to him. Mental health guy, of course. Always comes through when I need him. Yeah, honey mustard.
White folks, your flavor palette is off. You need to get you some sweet and sour. Have you tried it?
Honey mustard right now?
Have you tried it?
Honey mustard?
No, fool. The sweet and sour.
Yeah, of course I've tried it.
Go. Okay, so when we're done with this show, before you get to the bar, go on and get you a little 4-piece nugget, and get you some sweet and sour, and go and dip that thing in it.
If I'm doing that, I'm just gonna go get Chinese food,
bro. They ain't open on Sundays, dog.
Why? Because they're Christians?
I don't know. Motherfuckers ain't. Hey, the one next to my house ain't open. I be wanting some Chinese food, dog.
Well, that's because you live in this weird Christian.
Hey,
super crazy.
Hey, now
I'm just saying.
It's slander.
You live in a mega church area. What do you want me to tell you?
Hey man, we love Jesus around here, buddy. Okay.
I mean, that's fine. You can love him, but don't love him as much as they do. Yeah, mental health guy's exactly right. Honey mustard is your go-to here. The standby, because honey mustard is real hit or miss. Like some places have real good honey mustard. Some places honey mustard is booty.
Like when it's too tangy.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't like that.
No.
And I feel like McDonald's is too tangy.
No, I like
You
McDonald's.
like
I
that
like
one?
McDonald's honey mustard. I like Wendy's is okay.
You know who has
Burger King's honey mustard isn't good.
Yeah, Wendy's, their sauce package is just awful. Their sweet and sour sauce is trash. It's all pink and like
This is what you get for getting sweet and sour. And
I
then
don't
David
love Wendy's.
with the answer. So I think honey mustard's the go-to, but
Barbecue's number one.
barbecue is like the safe pick. Barbecue is modern day ketchup because it is. No matter where you go get it, you're gonna get something that's at least decent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like the honey mustard, you're guessing, but barbecue, feel like it's kind of the go-to here. No?
I mean, if I had
what else don't you tell us? What else you hate? Sterls.
If I can't have my sweet and sour sauce, I'm gonna go with barbecue.
How far is ranch down that list?
Oh, it ain't even on the list, dog. Miss me all day with the ranch. Can't stand that shit.
Thank God we don't have some Midwesterner on here.
Yeah, man.
Kettle Ranch.
And I'm a flats guy, wing wise.
How do you feel about buffalo sauce? The fast food buffalo sauce. If you're just joining us,
I don't like it.
The commercial question is, what's your fast food condiment of choice?
Let me tell you something, and I'm not because I'm a fan, but the sauces in Buffalo taste way different than anywhere else to me.
Isn't it crazy?
So like their blue cheese is it's unreal. Like
it's actual blue cheese.
Yeah, blue cheese out here and blue cheese out there, not the same. Not even
blue
close.
Cheese here, they take like ranch or gorgonzola and put blue cheese crumbles in it, and they're like, "Oh, that's blue cheese dressing." It's like, no, it's not.
Nah, hell no. So the sauces in Buffalo so to your point, I like buffalo sauce from Buffalo.
I get it, dog.
So, and I don't. Yeah.
Here's the other thing about buffalo sauce in Buffalo: it is significantly hotter than anywhere else.
Yep.
Like if you order buffalo sauce here, it's like maybe a mild in Buffalo. If you go to Buffalo and order hot wings hot, you're gonna be hurting.
It's gonna blow your ass out.
Yeah, you are not gonna be expecting.
No diddy.
And that's not even like the highest tier of heat they have. Like whatever you think you can handle, go one down.
Yeah.
And you go to Buffalo.
Yeah. But man.
So honey mustard, the clear winner. All right, let's go. Look at his face. He's just not happy with that answer. Cardinals and Niners. Niners, man. Listen, I told you at the beginning of the season, I thought it was going to take a little while for them to get it together. It feels like now should be the time that they're starting to figure it out. And I've got more questions about them now than ever. 2-2, no CMC in sight. Ayuk is getting in fights about the color shorts he's wearing.
Bro,
what are we doing? What are we doing? And then the Cardinals, man, I have said I think they're underrated. I think they're actually a good team, and then they puke on themselves last week against the Commanders, and look like absolute booty. So Cardinals catching a full touchdown here, 7 points. Our buddy David is on San Francisco -7. Who you got?
I'm going with the Cardinals, man. +7.5. I just think that a divisional game, you got a banged up San Francisco 49ers. It's still early in the season. I'm not saying they're going to win the game, but they're going to cover. They're going to cover that spread. Yeah. So, I mean, and Kyler Murray, he's been playing really good football this season.
What's that from you?
Yeah, dog. I know, and I'm not a big Kyler Murray fan. You talk about undersized. Little Kevin Hart out here running around. But he's balling, dude. Like he's balling. He's having a good season. 6 touchdowns to 1. That ratio looks good to me. You got Marvin Harrison Jr., 4 touchdowns. I mean, come on now. That boy's balling out. Right now, when your leading pass catcher for the 49ers is Juwan Jennings, there's something wrong when you have Debo and Ayuk who've
Well, but
been playing.
Debo's missed some games. Ayuk clearly not
Right.
trying to get up to speed.
So, I mean, Debo is always hurt. They're all almost hurt, always hurt for the 49ers. So, it's hard to build that chemistry, time on task, like we talk about. Divisional games, so they know each other. It's like, so yeah, I think it'll be a 4-point game. I think San Francisco wins this game 24-28, 24-20.
And again, let's be totally honest here with ourselves and everybody else. Can we have a discussion about Brock Purdy now? Everybody wanted to tell me, of course, Milkman's not here. Everybody wanted to tell me about him being an MVP. Well, when he's missing dudes, what happens?
I don't understand, like, why can't people just I get, like, you want him to be good, and if you're a 49ers fan, you're gonna pump your guy up. But, like, if you can't get over the fact that that scheme and the personnel that they have makes him who he is, look, the scouting community ain't wrong on this. Like, he was a below average to average quarterback in college at best.
Good, not great.
Right? And he has no physical abilities that make you go, oh my God. Like, there's nothing that stands out about him.
I think he's elevated, don't get me wrong.
Sure.
From where he was in college. Like, it's impressive. And, running that offense efficiently is not every quarterback can do it. It's not, I'm not saying
smart. So he's smart. So we know he's smart.
Yeah, I'm not dogging the guy. He's just not an MVP.
Right.
Because an MVP, when you take all these guys away from him, doesn't go 2-2.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I'm kind of on the same vibe as you here. I got Cardinals. I'll take the 7 points. I think San Francisco pulls it out, but I think it's a dogfight to the end here.
So real quick, Fred Warner's questionable, George Kittle's questionable, McCaffrey's out, Kalia Davis defensive tackle's questionable. So I mean, there's some more on there, but
Debo's back, right? Ayuk is disgruntled.
Yeah, and for someone who held out for so long, like, bro, come on, dog. Like, get it together. They signed you to the contract that you held out for, so they gave you the money. What's the problem now?
Well, real quickly, because we do have to fly through these here a little bit, but I'm just going to say I'm glad Shanahan's took a stand and made him change the shorts, because if you pay a guy and then you let something like that slip,
yep, that's a good point.
Slippery slope.
Good point. Good point. I didn't understand the whole shorts thing in the first place. Tell the listeners what that was about real quick.
The uniform was red tops, black bottoms. That's what they were supposed to wear to practice. And Ayuk had a red pair of shorts on, and there's video of Shanahan going over to him and clearly arguing with him. And afterwards, Ayuk was like, man, we're talking about shorts of practice. But he made him change out of the red shorts. He had black shorts on underneath. Like, he didn't even have to leave the field. He just had to take off the red shorts and wear his black shorts. And he's like, man, we're talking about shorts. And it's like, kind of getting at it's not a big deal.
I hate that.
You're not special, dog. You're not special.
Just do
you are not different than everybody else here has to wear black shorts. I paid you that money. You're going to wear the black shorts.
Yeah, you can say fuck. Wear the fucking shorts.
You're gonna wear the black fucking shorts, all right?
Just shut the fuck up. God damn.
If you don't, it's not about the black shorts, right? It's not about the red shorts. It's
about being part of the team, man.
Right. It's about proving to you that you're not different. And if he didn't put his foot down about that, then, is it, a special spot in the locker room, or not having to ride the team bus, or what's the next thing, right? So I thought, good for Shanahan. Like, put your foot down.
Yeah.
Don't let this get out of control. Yes, it's about shorts. Yes, it's going to be annoying this week. Yes, it's going to derail your day of practice. You're going to have to answer questions about it afterward. But at the end of the day, I thought it was a good move.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Packers and Rams. Talk about disgruntled wide receivers. Romeo Doubs not only disappointed with his role, but also apparently skipping practice is what I heard.
2 days of practice, not just one, but 2.
That is bad. That is real tough. Rams still beat up, man. I mean, to all hell. but they are at home. It's Rams +3. Unfortunate for the Rams that you have another national darling team coming in, one of those teams that people across the country root for no reason. And so SoFi is going to be a Packer stadium today. It's no doubt in my mind. So Rams getting 3 points. Let's see. David is on Green Bay -3. Where you at, Sterls?
Green Bay -3.
Go on. Beat up
Well,
quarterback.
Man, it's
one wide receiver's out. Isn't Wicks out?
Let's see here.
I think Wicks is out. Dobbs is suspended. Now they have like 5 number 2 wide receivers.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know, man. Like Christian Watson's always hurt. That dude is always hurt.
Is it Watson that's out, not Wicks?
Yeah, Christian Watson's out. I don't know, man. I still feel like the Packers are a good team for the NFC. The Rams, I don't know. I thought I'd get more out of Matthew Stafford. I mean, again, he's lost a lot of weapons, but the yards are there. The touchdown to interception ratio is 2-2 there. We thought Kyron Williams would have more yards per carry, at least. He does have 5 touchdowns, so he's starting to pick it up the past few weeks. But you want to see more. Tutu Atwell is their leading receiver right now. So I think once the Rams get healthy, I think that's going to bode well for them.
I was going to say you have to couch that with Tutu Atwell's the leading receiver, but Puka's missed most of the year. Kupp has missed most of the year. It's not like he had better options.
Yeah, so it's still early. So I think the Packers defense. You got guys like Jair Alexander. One of my guys, Rashawn Gary from Michigan. I think this is a game where you should come in and expect to play your 111th and get this win and get out of here. Jordan Love is good too. Let's not forget about that. Even though he's coming back from injury,
I don't know if he's 100%.
Yeah, he and there's no way he can be. I don't think he can be. But is he good enough to get out of the pocket on third down and make a pass? I think so. I think he's there. So we'll see.
And I feel like the margins are very, very small on this. So hang with me here. But who's got the better coach?
Oh, it's the Rams.
Who's got the better quarterback? Yeah, say it.
Oh, Matthew Stafford is better, but he doesn't have much at his disposal right now.
No, but who's got the better quarterback?
Matthew Stafford's better.
He's better. But I mean, right? Like we're like I said, the margins are really, really small here. But better coach, better quarterback at home, getting 3 points. I'll take the Rams +3.
You just sounded like a Papa John's commercial.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. I'm available for endorsement. Giants at Seahawks. Not as big of an effect as West going east. Still, I think, tough for a team to fly all the way across the country and play Seattle. I think it's why they're part of the reason that they're so good at home. Giants headed out to Seattle to play the Seahawks, getting 7 points. David is on Seattle -7. Where are you at here, dog?
Oh, the Seahawks. For sure.
You gonna lay a whole touchdown?
I'm laying a whole touchdown. I'm gonna tell you why. Because no Malik Neighbors. That's their whole offense. Like who else is gonna do something for the Giants? Devin Singletary, who's doubtful. Like, and we're banking on Danny Dimes to nah.
No, I think if you're writing a game script where you're taking the Giants in 7 points, you're saying the score is going to be 13-7 or something like that, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That the defense for the Giants goes crazy with that incredible defensive line. And I think that's the game script that you're writing. It, however, is not the game script that I'm writing. I don't think the Giants corners can handle this wide receiver core for Seattle, which is arguably one of the best in the league. I mean, let's be totally honest here. If they had a quarterback like Joe Burrow, I think it's just as good as the Bengals receiving core. Geno Smith is only so good. And that's not a knock on Geno Smith. I'm just saying I think part of the reason that they're not thought of as an elite receiving core is because they don't have an elite quarterback. But in Jigba, Smith and Jigba, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, I think that's as good of a 3 as you get around the league.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So I'll take the Seahawks and I'll lay the points here as well. So all 3 of us took the Seahawks, which means for sure the Giants are going to win this game outright. Go ahead and fade us on that one.
I know. And if they do, I guess I'll go get some nuggets with some honey mustard.
Broncos Raiders. Raiders catching 3 points. Raiders in complete and utter disarray. Their coach is liking Instagram posts about trading Devontae Adams. Max Crosby looks like he'll play, but is not 100%. Broncos feeling good off 2 wins. 2 wins that were on the road. Going to come back to Mile High 2-2, and that place is going to be raucous, dog. Like, they have not beat the Raiders in, I think, 8 tries or something like that.
Yeah,
which
9
is crazy
consecutive wins over the Broncos.
Yeah, and the Raiders have not been good over that. You know what I mean? Like, the Bills beating the Dolphins 8 times in a row is like, well, the Bills have been pretty good. Man, the Raiders have been cheeks over that run, and yet for some reason beat the Broncos every time. I feel like Mile High is going to be absolutely rocking today.
Yeah, I agree.
Broncos -3. Who you got?
I'm taking the Broncos minus the 2.5 that I have on my betting app here.
Ooh, finally, you got a better line than me.
Yeah, first time ever, right? Yeah, man. I think the more Bo Nix, you're starting to see him get more and more comfortable each game, and they're scheming guys open, but he's there's always something on the play. Like the accuracy just isn't there yet. For everything we know about him, he can be an accurate quarterback. So I think as he gets more acclimated to the offense, more comfortable, I think you'll start to see more production. However, I am disappointed that Javonte Williams only has 40 touches on the season.
He's not been good, dog. He has not been good.
And is
I don't know if you've gone back to
line.
No, because McLaughlin and Bidet, when he was playing, they have looked okay behind that same offensive line. It is a Javonte Williams problem, I think. So it's interesting. Listen, I'll throw out the monsoon game versus the Jets.
Sure.
For Bo Nix. If you go back to that Tampa Bay game, just making solid decisions. You know what I mean? Made plays when he needed to, even in the Jets game, even in the monsoon, he made plays when he needed to. So yeah, listen, a little sneaky thing here. This over under is 36.
Take the under.
No, I'm taking
the over.
Yeah. Listen, when Gardner Minshew gets hot. I mean, 36 is
against that Broncos defense.
That's an Iowa over under, man. Like 36 is a crazy over under. That's 18 points a team, something like that. Sure. 19 points a team. Yeah, give me the over. Someone's getting to 20, and I think it's going to be a close game. So I'll take the Broncos. I'll lay the 3 points and a little side bet. I'm not actually betting it, but if I'm giving you advice, I'd say maybe sneak that over in. I kind of like that line.
On a little parlay, huh?
No, we don't do parlays. Sunday night football. Dude, I got to be honest with you. I really feel like our primetime games are trash this week. And they're just like, hey, look at these teams that have names and you should think are good. Steelers and Cowboys in Pittsburgh. I think the Cowboys are booty, and I think the Steelers are kind of booty. Dallas getting 2.5 points. No Micah Parsons. No Dexter Lawrence. I mean, what are we talking about here? Go ahead. Tell me why you're picking the Cowboys. Go ahead.
I don't know who I'm picking in this game, to be honest. Both of these teams are like, I don't know what to think of either. Who are the Steelers? What are they doing on offense?
They're a 10-win team.
Who are the Steelers and what are they doing on offense?
You know,
like the defense to me is a 10-win team, not the offense. But But what we've seen, Justin Fields has not been bad, right? He's been okay. He's been average. And I think that might be enough. I don't know, man. I got to go with the Cowboys here.
Oh,
And I hate it. I just feel like they are the better team, but they don't live up to expectations hardly ever. No Micah Parsons is going to hurt, so like you don't have Micah Parsons. I mean, there's opportunities on the edges to really affect the quarterback, but you don't have your guys. So Trayvon Diggs is questionable in this game. Brandon Cooks is on injured reserve. So they're going to have some guys that are going to have to step up. So yeah, this one is a fool's gold game, man. I mean, it's I don't want to bet it, bro. I don't want to bet it at all, but I'll take the Cowboys here. According to my draft book here, it is scrolling down 3 points. No, that's next week. Sorry. I digress.
I got 2.5.
Cowboys
plus 2.5.
Oh, it's 3 points. I got 3.
Okay. So you're taking the points?
Yeah.
Garbage. I mean, if you're taking the points, you're purely doing it because of Dak Prescott, and you think he's better than that defense, right?
Yeah.
Like, I like Justin Fields versus the Cowboys defense more than I like Dak Prescott versus the Steelers defense. So I'll lay the 2.5. David's laying the 2.5 too. We're both on the Steelers. But that's kind of just what it comes down to me. And then, I always tell you, quarterback coach, who you think's got the better head coach. I don't think there's much of a question here.
Yeah, I'll be the odd duck here.
That's fine.
I'll go Cowboys.
You normally are the odd duck.
Yeah, it's true.
And then Monday Night Football, another game like, oh, you should be excited. The Chiefs are playing. Eat me. Saints at Chiefs. Ugh.
The Devontae Adams Bowl. Is it not?
No, it's not. I heard Steelers, Ravens, and Bills.
Saints are in there too, man.
I'd be surprised. Saints getting 5.5 points heading into Arrowhead. Listen, the Chiefs have not looked good any of the weeks. Any of them. Right? I mean, am I off base saying that?
No, that's fair.
The fact that people are putting Patrick Mahomes at the top of MVP lists is asinine to me.
Who's doing that?
Oh, I saw it like 3 different times this week. Because Josh Allen had a bad night against the Ravens. They need to drop him down, and they need to put somebody else up top, and they just default to Patrick Mahomes.
That's terrible analysis right there.
I mean, he's been awful.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say. He has
he
not
been awful, but it's not Mahomes
MVP caliber.
Yeah.
But he's on the top of a lot of those lists.
Derek Carr statistically is having a better season than him.
Yeah. Yeah. And more deserving of being on top of that list, probably. So yeah, I will take
Saints.
I'm gonna take the Saints in the 5.5 points. I think Chiefs annoyingly find a way to pull this out too. But if I'm getting more than a field goal and I'm getting over 4 points, which means I'm safe from that touchdown field goal weirdness there. I'll take New Orleans and the points here.
Yeah. So am I. Same.
Doing the same?
Yep.
All right. Well, that was your NFL pregame show. Honey Mustard, clearly elite. Obviously number 1.
That's slander.
What do you mean that's slander? It's facts is what it is.
No, man, it's not, bro. It's sweet and sour for nuggets. Is it not?
It's not. It's not. You even said Wendy's sweet and sour is trash.
Wendy's sweet and sour is trash.
Then how can it be your go-to condiment if you can't have it at one of the big 3? You know what I mean?
I don't know, dog. Give me a sweet and sour, bro. Or the barbecue. Get one of those two and we straight. Just saying, dude.
I think we can all have a seat at the barbecue table. You know what I mean? So let's all just sit there and be good, Appreciate you for gutting it out today, Sterls.
Hey, man, I'm here, dog.
Right there. Just coughing on the outro.
Dude. Yeah.
Hurting. He's hurting.
Whatevs. I'll get better,
But I'm saying I appreciate you gutting it out.
Yeah, dude. Hey, it's fun, man. I need, like I said, I felt dangerous this morning. I feel good about our bets. Even though they're different in some regard, I feel like we're going to have a good day today.
We'll find out. Sauce Gardner just went to the locker room, too.
Hey, that's unfortunate, but Bills got to get a win
real
today.
Quick, before we get out of here, how do you like the 7:30 starts?
I'll be honest. I didn't even know there was a game this morning until my phone went off.
Yeah,
That's to tell you something.
Not a big fan. Ooh, it's pouring rain there, too. Interesting. All right. Well, listen, I hope everybody enjoyed the show. We'll leave you, as we always do, with a Go Bills. Fuck you, Sterls. We're out of here.